You can't hand somebody cash directly from your bank. Imagine you have money in a bank account in New York, but your friend is in London and they use a different bank. You obviously can't hand that directly to them, and the banks just don't use the same system. This is one of the many reasons why crypto is so awesome. A blockchain bridge works like a secure courier service. It transfers your digital assets safely between two entirely separate blockchain networks. I'm Brett at CryptoGX, and in this video, I'll explain what blockchain bridges are, how they work, why they matter, and the risks that are involved. So just like banks in different countries follow their own systems and rules, blockchains also operate in isolation. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, and others each run on their own network. They don't speak the same language. So if you hold a token on one blockchain and want to use it on another, there's no direct way to do so. Without bridges, you're stuck within the boundaries of the network where your asset was created. There are dozens of blockchain networks, and these bridges enable these chains to interact with each other. That's the dilemma that blockchain bridges are designed to solve. A blockchain bridge is a tool that allows you to move your digital assets like tokens or coins from one blockchain to another. Think of it as a secure connection that temporarily holds your asset on one side, then issues a version of it on the other so that you can use it on a different network. Let's say you hold Ethereum on the Ethereum network, but then you want to use it on Solana, where transaction fees are much lower. The bridge essentially helps you lock your Ethereum on the original chain and then gives you an equivalent version of that on the Solana network. Through this, it's still your Ethereum. It's just adapted to work in a different environment. This makes it possible to access faster, cheaper, and more specialized blockchain ecosystems without having to sell and rebuy your assets on a new platform. So let's talk about how this actually happens. How does your Ethereum turn into something that's usable on another blockchain without being sold or lost? Well, when you use a blockchain bridge, you're not literally moving your token from one chain to another. Instead, the bridge basically locks your original token, say Ethereum, on its native chain and then issues a new version of it on the destination chain. This new token represents the same value, but it's compatible with the network that you're moving to, like Binance Smart Chain or Solana. Think of it like putting your Ethereum in a vault. And then once that's in a vault, you're then trading with, kind of like a piece of paper that says, I own Ethereum over there. The bridge will keep the Ethereum securely, and then it'll give you a key or a claim ticket in the form of what's called a wrapped version on the other side. That's that piece of paper I was talking about. This wrapped token can then be used in apps and exchanges on that new chain. And whenever you're ready, you can redeem that ticket. You will burn the wrapped token. You'll burn that piece of paper up. No one will ever be able to use it again. And then you'll unlock your original Ethereum from the vault, going back into your Ethereum wallet. Now, all of this happens with smart contracts. Smart contracts are basically programs coded to handle the locking and minting process without needing a third party. And I talk about smart contracts a lot more in the video I made on the channel about Ethereum. So definitely check out the channel for that, and make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one. So the bridge is basically monitoring your transaction. It will confirm the lockup of your Ethereum or whatever asset that you are bridging, and then it's going to authorize the release of a wrapped asset on the target chain, or it's going to authorize you to have that piece of paper that says, I own Ethereum over there. This is fully automated, and it's built to follow very strict logic. That's why choosing a reliable bridge matters so much. You're placing trust in a system that holds your original funds while giving you temporary access to it somewhere else. If that system breaks, that gets hacked, or fails to recognize your transaction, the risk isn't small. It could be huge. And this is exactly where most people hesitate when it comes to these bridges, because while the idea sounds simple and convenient, the execution still has a long way to go, at least depending on the bridge that you're looking at. Blockchain bridges have become one of the most common targets for hacks in the crypto world. Billions of dollars have been lost through vulnerabilities in poorly designed or poorly maintained bridges. The reason is simple. A bridge needs to monitor two separate blockchains and validate that a transaction has occurred on one before unlocking the assets on the other. This means that it often depends on a middle layer, either a set of validators, which is essentially a computer running a program to check all of the transactions and things. It also could depend on a smart contract, which is basically just the contract that says, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to get this, and it runs automatically, or something called an oracle system, which, we don't need to get into in this video. But if any part of that setup fails, or if an attacker finds a way to trick it, then your funds could disappear. Lots of negative things could be happening if people get into these confirmation actions. Now, some bridges are fully automated with smart contracts. Others are semi-centralized, relying on a group of trusted parties, and both of these have trade-offs. Smart contracts can have bugs, and centralized validators could be corrupted or shut down. And unlike unlike a traditional bank transaction, there's no easy way to reverse a bridge transfer that has gone wrong. Now, this is why it's critical to use bridges with strong security records. You need to always check if the bridge has been audited and who runs it. Now, despite the risk, the need of these bridges is very real. If you stay on just one chain, you limit what you can do. Bridges are going to help you break out of that isolation. For example, maybe you want to earn higher yields on another chain or use an app that isn't available on your network. A bridge is going to let you move your assets there without starting over and just buying on that particular chain. They also help you avoid unnecessary fees. So instead of selling your tokens, paying gas, moving fiat, and buying again on another chain, you can simply bridge them. This saves you time, it reduces cost, and then it keeps you in control of your crypto. Now, on top of that, there is also innovation. This doesn't happen in one place anymore. New blockchains keep emerging, each solving different problems. Bridges give you access to those ecosystems without locking you into one. You get flexibility, freedom, and more ways to use your assets. They open a door to much larger, faster moving crypto networks than the one that you might be locked on with that particular asset. So at this point, you're probably wondering how to use a blockchain bridge. Since bridges act as a link between two different blockchains, the main idea is to move your tokens from one network to another without converting them. There are many bridges available that do this. So let's walk through it using Symbiosis as just an example. So first we're going to go to symbiosis.finance, and this particular one is the Ethereum bridge to Base specifically. Now you're going to click the bridge ETH to Base button right in the middle there. It's going to open up an app where you will connect your Ethereum wallet. On the top right, you'll see Connect Wallet. You are going to click that, and then you will select any wallet that you have, let's say MetaMask, for example. Now that you've connected your wallet, you can exchange your Ethereum to the Base chain token. As you can see right here, the big icon is the coin that you are using, and then the little icon is the network that it's on. And so if we go down to what I'm changing to, I keep my Ethereum token, but then you can see it's on the Base network. So let's say I put one Ethereum in, it's going to give me almost one Ethereum on the other side. The difference looks like about $6. Now, the very, very important thing here is that you're going to have to enter the address of the wallet that you are changing to, because it's not going to stay on your Ethereum wallet that you have connected. It's going to go to your Base chain wallet. It's going to go to the new chain. So make sure to use copy and paste. Make sure to check every single letter and number that's on this address so it's going to the right place. Once you do, you will click this I confirm that the recipient address is a self-custodial wallet, not an exchange, third-party service, or smart contract wallet, aka you don't want to send this to an exchange wallet because it's not going to work. You have to have the wallet yourself. So once you go down here, you'll see that it's going to take about 1 to 2 minutes. Price impact is about 0.03%. My fee is $1.72. You can see slippage, minimum received, and all that good stuff before you send the transaction. Here, Connect Wallet, once you have actually connected, will say send transaction. You'll confirm a transaction request. Then those funds will get changed from the Ethereum on the Ethereum chain to Ethereum on the Base chain. Now, one thing to note here is that the time, the fee, the price impact is all going to be dependent on what's happening on both of those networks at the time. Right now, it looks pretty fast and pretty cheap, but it could be entirely different if you're going at a time where lots of transactions are going through. It's not going to be instant, but it will be relatively quick compared to when actually, banks transfer things. Typically, they just pretend your money is in there when you have an instant deposit, but in actuality, it takes them a long time to process it, days often. So now you know how to use a cross-chain bridge, and you know all about them. You know that they unlock flexibility, they give you access to assets on different chains, but you do have to weigh in the security risks before you jump in. Stick to audited bridges, double check where your funds are going, and you'll be way ahead of the average user. If you're ready to get started, get some crypto and start using cross-chain bridges, I put links in the description for Coinbase and crypto.com where you'll get at least $50 in crypto just for signing up with those links. And if you want to get into meme coins, I also left a link to MoonShot where you can claim some free meme coins when you sign up. If you learned something new or just enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to stay tuned for all things crypto. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.